Good evening. This will be a scene for Living World of Darkness Camarilla venue, and this will be the initial meeting of the two Nosferatu entering New York City.
Okay, great. Madame Moreau has secured a dark, seedy hotel. You know the type that you pay $50 an hour for. It's one of those no-tail kind of zones. She's waiting within one of the rooms, um, in black, totally veiled. She does have a weird, like, plague doctor mask on. Um, she thinks it's some kind of joke, due to a message that she received from the person she hopes to be meeting today.
Okay. Alex will enter the hotel. He has his mask up, uh, gives a slight nod to the front desk person, and just continues to walk by to the room that he was given, number two. And as he reaches the door, he will lightly rap three times on the door.
Okay. Um, After knocking, the door opens with a click. There's a very slight woman in front of you. You can't tell if any kind of powers are in play, but she's very thin, almost unnaturally so, in all blacks, and she gestures you to for you to come in and have a seat,
Okay.
and closes the door behind her.
So does it look like she has a mask up, or does she look Nosferatu?
She is totally veiled,
Oh, okay.
but and she has like this billowy like dress on, and it's covered all her arms, even her hands have gloves on it. Um, but a little around the wrist, as she gestures you in, the dress falls away a little bit, and you can see like discolored skin and maybe like a slight fungus growing there.
Right. All right. Alex comes in. As he enters the room, he appears as he does in my picture.
Okay.
Uh, Long coat, also gloves on, boots, and some slacks with a hat over his head. As he enters the room, you catch a not real strong, but a whiff of just sewage. Um, Not too overpowering, but you can tell that it's definitely coming from him.
Right.
Um,
Right.
he closes the door behind him, sizes you up real quick. I hope you don't mind if I look around the room real quick. And then, without waiting for a response, he quickly, walks around the room and surveys the area to make sure there's no one hiding behind the door or anything like that. And when he feels comfortable, he takes a seat, probably a seat near a table in the
Yeah.
room.
The room's on the up and up. There's no one hiding. There's not. There's like a small closet. It's not one of those type of hotels. Um, the bed is it's kind of broken in, but still functional for what most people use these type of rooms for.
Right.
Um, and she'll take a seat on the bed.
I apologize for my rude intro. Can never be too sure. I had the weirdest feeling since I've entered this city. I've never felt anything like this before. Have you
I
tried feeding since you've gotten here?
I have my herd that I have created, um, that follows me, and it seems to be some problems connected with feeding in this domain.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a problem as I entered the city. Nothing too serious, but I definitely will not try to feed again until I figure this out.
Definitely, I am trying to extend my influence into our community, to make initial contact. Um, I'm sorry. I am Madame Monroe, and you are. What should I call you?
Alex Cameron at your service.
Alex. It's
A
a
bit of
pleasure.
a jack of all trades. If you got a problem, I'm the guy.
Well, it's good to have a guy who takes care of problems.
May I make myself comfortable? After all, we are family.
Of course.
With that, he drops his mask, standing before you in the same attire as the picture you see. He has a like a hospital type mask over his face,
Okay.
and he takes that off. Can never be too careful around cameras. Sets it on the table.
Okay. Um, Kind of as a show of protocol, this may be something that Monroe has dealt with in the past. She stands and then takes off the plague doctor mask she has on.
Mhm.
Um, Underneath that is a a light lacy veil. She takes that off, and she is in fact Nosferatu, totally hideous to the core. She has even like a wig that's been like glued to her hair that she even takes off as well.
Okay. The one good thing about our family is that there's no denying who we are.
I think this is what makes me respect the power of truth so much. We're faced with our truths every night. Other
Yes,
people like to
we
hide
are
from it.
monsters.
Indeed. And speaking of truth, I have to admit I'm at a loss on how to best contact the canines of this area.
Well, I have been given the contact information for the Harpy. I would gladly share that with you.
Ah,
Perhaps even we could meet him together or her.
that would be delightful. I will owe you no small debt.
Consider it a gift. And he writes down the contact number.
A gift welcomely received, she says, a little bit more formally than is practical.
You're definitely more refined than the Nosferatu that I'm typically dealing with.
uh, he chuckles at that. So, besides the obvious magical conundrums we're faced in this city, what brings you to the Big Apple?
Well, as you know, our nightly existence can be hectic at times. I had some problems in the previous city that I inhabited, and in no small terms, we're told to find a new place to live. So
That
here I
happens.
am.
That happens. Knowledge is power, and sometimes people can't handle that kind of power when we wield it over them.
Yes, definitely.
Well,
So, have you come up with any ideas for feeding?
well, um, in order to keep my servants loyal to me, I wouldn't like to feed on them any further. Um,
I don't think it'd do much good.
I have, well, one of them gave me an idea. As distasteful as it sounds, it might work though. Um, we could put forward some amount of refuse or food to attract rats or scavengers of the city.
It's not as bad as you would think. I've done worse.
Hmm. If if you could imagine a Nosferatu like with a look of disgust,
She wrinkles
that
what's left of her nose.
yeah, that kind of briefly passes across her face. Um,
I
we are
understand it's a bit distasteful, but sometimes you have to do what you gotta do.
indeed, we are survivors above all else.
Perhaps I don't have much. I fled my city with the clothes on my back and my backpack, so I'm not very set up. But if we could procure some animal cages of some kind, I could definitely set those up in the sewer for us and lay a little bit of a trap.
Please, she says, allow me. I have secured a bit of financial resources that I could contribute in this manner, uh, perhaps as a return to the favor of old. Um, uh,
Yeah, I will definitely share whatever catches that we do come up with. If you provide the cages, I'll set it up. You don't really seem the type that would traverse the sewers with me. No offense, but we are family and we do need allies in this city. I find it very odd that there are no others of us here.
I find it most disturbing as well, which might mean that the secrets of this city are quite deadly indeed.
Exactly.
If that's the case, I would insist to travel with you in these sewers. I wouldn't want one of the blood to be possibly lost to any foul play.
I've done some exploring already since I've arrived. So far, no immediate threats have come. Everything seems to be normal as far as being in the sewers goes.
That's that's promising. We should be able to set up something down there then.
Definitely.
So
So,
I have the money for the cages. We will set some traps for sustenance there.
absolutely.
Sounds like a plan.
Do you have someone that can procure these cages for us?
Of
You
course, of
mentioned that
course.
you have some. Oh,
Yes, I have some of the kind that I trust that would be helpful. Help will be overjoyed to help me in such a fashion.
excellent. Unfortunately, I don't have the talent some of us do to just bring those animals to us, but where there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly. There's more than one way to skin a cat, as they say.
Literally.
Well, I think I have my work to do. Would you like to meet again this night to set about these traps?
Absolutely. Just here's my contact information, and he writes down another number below the number for the harpy, scrolls his name below it. Just let me know when you're set up, and we'll make it happen.
Good. That sounds perfect. Um, she rises from the bed and then she goes into the bathroom, which is just a sink and the faucet. And she starts to set about fixing the wig back to her head.
Okay. If anything else should arise in the meantime, do not hesitate to call me. As I said, we do need to stick together. Something's very weird about this city, and I don't trust what's happening. I've never been this paranoid in my own life.
Do you also feel as if you're being watched?
Yes, sometime around when I crossed the Hudson River, something just didn't feel right. I doubled back and made myself unseen, but I can't seem to find whatever it is that's watching me, which does not make me happy, and it did not change when I was below the streets.
It's
So
something it's
be on alert.
it's something that my mortals didn't sense.
A question, if I may, were you able to feed on them fine before you got here?
Yes, before I got here.
So this is definitely something with the city.
I do believe so.
This is very
Disturbing.
disturbing. Yes, yes. Well, be safe. Be careful. Trust no one. Don't even trust me, to be perfectly honest. We don't know anything that's happening right now, and it's best just to be prepared for anything. Alex walks over to the window in the room and kind of peers down into the alleyway below just to, scans the area. Well, it appears to be clear. I just can't shake this feeling, though.
There is a guy out, not directly outside of the hotel window, but a little bit ways, still in the premises. Um, he's smoking in one of the corners.
The smoking man, is he one of yours?
He is. I would appreciate it.
Well, as I said, I'm here at your service. If anything else should arise in the meantime, please let me know. And when you get the cages up procured, I'll be more than happy to set them up for you. He walks over to the table and picks up his hospital mask, puts it back on, and throws up his mask. Obviously, as you're staring at him, it doesn't take hold, but
Right.
he switches on over. And if there's nothing else, I'll see myself out, and I look forward to hearing from you later.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
Indeed, the pleasure is all mine. He doesn't reach to shake your hand or anything. You can tell he's been very standoffish, a defensive posture the entire time, but he does seem to trust you nominally anyway. And he nods and sees himself out the door.
All right. After the door closes, Monroe will put back on her plague mask. She kind of looks over herself in the mirror. Under that mask and the veil beneath that, there might be a slight smile that curls at her lips. Um, just because it's good to know that there are other people like her in the city. She's very grateful that the Nosferatu that she met tonight was so cautious. Cautious kindred tend to last a lot longer than the brash ones. So she's very happy that maybe she has an ally already in the city.
As Alex leaves the room, he adjusts his cap, straightens his suit, wrinkles his nose as he smells himself, jots down a few notes, and as he's putting it away, he also has a slight smile on his face as he walks out into the lobby and back into the night. He looks over at the man on the corner smoking, who I'm sure is taking notice of him, and gives a slight nod and walks the opposite direction off into the night.
All right. All right, viewers, that's where we will end this very brief scene. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, man.